The next step is your transactions. Now, the transactions tab is where you will categorize everything. This is not something that we're going to look at immediately because the first thing that we need to do is to bring in some transactions. So what do you do there? Well, the first thing that you'll need to do is to go to your bank, log in, and find a way to list the transactions. Almost every bank will give you a way to export a list of transactions, and the one I like to pick, usually the option I pick, is year to date. This makes sure that you have everything from the current calendar year, which is exactly what you'll need to get started. Once you have one of those, what you'll do is you'll go to A1 or A2. Now, these are a list of different accounts. That's what A stands for. And so there are actually up to 10 of these. To view more of them beyond just the first two, you'll go to Hidden Sheets and say show A3, show A4, show A5, etc. And you can add up to 10. So for this demo, what we're going to do is we're going to show A3. You might get a little alert saying, hey, something's changing that could break something, but not to worry, this is something that's intended. That is mostly there if you're going to start editing formulas, but for the time being, this will allow us to see A1, A2, and A3. And with that said, we'll go ahead and we'll start importing some budgets now. Okay, so the first thing you're going to do when you come in here is you're going to enter an account name. So in this case, I'm going to enter city, and I'm going to say city DC for the double cash card, and that will tell me which account that this is. From there, I'm then going to pull up a spreadsheet. Now, what you'll want to do is take just the columns that you need. So in this case, it's going to be date, description, debit, credit. You can basically take anything you want after date. In this case, we do not need status, but we will need everything else. Now, don't bother taking the headers. Well, you actually probably can, but in most cases, you'll just want to take the transactions after the first time you set it up. During setup, you can go ahead and enter in the headers that you want, and they should recognize. Now, you will notice that when you go to A1 and A2, there's a difference here. This is debit and credit, whereas A2 doesn't. That doesn't really matter. In fact, just to demonstrate that, I'll go ahead and I'll copy in the values here from the city into the spreadsheet right here. So I'm going to paste in a specific way that strips the formatting. To do that, if you just hit Command V or paste the regular way, it's going to ruin the headers here, which isn't a huge deal. It'll still work, but it's not as pretty. So in this case, what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit paste with Command Option Shift V, and that will allow you to retain the formatting. I believe that you can do something similar here by going to paste values only to do it manually. But in any event, once this is done, it will automatically recognize what counts as a credit or debit. And then, of course, you'll want to enter in the name, City DC, which would be for like the City double cash card. Okay, so once you have pasted everything in here, now you'll go over to all accounts. We'll begin to see that everything's starting to be populated. It is also helpful to note that it will immediately also show you if there's a duplicate charge. Now, this may be legitimate or not. Obviously, you would know if you made 2 shipments through the postal service, or if that has been charged twice accidentally. So that's just a helpful little feature there that will do a duplicate check. Now, of course, this is for all accounts, so we need to add in a couple more accounts. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. We will pull in some sample data from Chase. So over here we have a transaction date and a post date. We really only need the post date. So I'm going to go in and just copy what we need. There we go. And I'm going to paste it in right here. Now, once again, there's some instructions here. If you forget what to do, you can just go in here, and these instructions are basically telling you exactly what you need to do. Now, it is helpful to note that the only column headers that will be recognized are date or transaction date, amount, or 2 separate debit and credit columns. So that is important to note because whatever you paste in from your spreadsheet is going to impact that. So over here I have transaction date, post date's not going to recognize, so I'm just going to have to change that to date. And to me, it's actually more important to have post date because I want to know when it actually finished charging rather than when the transaction was. You may think otherwise and you can choose whatever you want there. But for my purposes, I'm going to go ahead and paste that in here. Now, of course, it's not going to recognize post date, so I'm just going to make that date. Now that I've got that done, I'm going to change this to This was actually the Chase data. So I'm going to put in Chase, and that's going to update the account name all throughout. Now the benefit, as you'll see in a moment, is that it's going to consolidate these by type, which is incredibly helpful. Now we need to add one more tab here because I have 3 sheets that I want to import with transactions. So I'm going to go in and I'm going to say View, Show Hidden Sheets, and Show a third account. You can add up to 10 accounts, but we will add a third now. We will ask it not to bother us, and we'll go in here and we can now add in a final account. So in this case, I'm going to add some sample transactions from a bank. So I'll go ahead and I'll pick my categories here. I'll copy them all over, and you'll see here that the way that this bank does it is they include the description at the end. That's okay. We'll go ahead and paste it in. Now, it's not really going to have much use for time, but it'll be able to figure out because it's looking for date, amount, type, and description. So over here, I will put in my bank. Okay, with that done, it's going to go ahead, it's going to calculate. You'll see it loading at the top here, and it has now categorized all 3 accounts that I've set up. If you go to all accounts, you will now see a master summary of everything in one place. And you'll also notice that I have another duplicate, and this is from 2 different accounts. So this shows me that perhaps I bought a Kindle book through Chase and then I bought it through Citi. It's just another way to show duplicate. This probably wouldn't be a real duplicate in real life if you were to have 2 different accounts charged for the same amount, but at least it highlights that for you. So that's how you get everything into this one single consolidated all accounts overview. And then in the next video, we will look at how to import that and categorize those transactions automatically.